The night of June 7, 2025 was supposed to be quiet. Across northern India, people were settling in, until sirens shattered the silence. On radar screens, hundreds of fast-moving dots appeared, streaking across the border from Pakistan. This was no skirmish. It was a massive, coordinated attack targeting military bases, airfields, and critical infrastructure. The nightmare scenario had arrived, a barrage of cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and swarms of attack drones. India's air defense operators had only seconds to respond. Suddenly, streaks of light shot up, India's Akash missiles rising to intercept the incoming storm. Explosions lit up the sky as interceptors met their targets, turning the night into a deadly firework display. The Akash system, decades in the making, was being tested by fire. Its Rajendra radars locked onto enemy missiles with pinpoint accuracy, while mobile launchers fired interceptors in rapid succession. The command centers coordinated the battle, ensuring no target was missed. The world watched as India's shield held strong. The sheer number of threats should have been overwhelming, but the defense was total. The Akash system, designed by India for India, was proving its worth. On this night, the fate of millions rested on technology and training, and both delivered. The sky became a battlefield, but the ground below remained safe. India's enemies were about to learn a hard lesson about the nation's resolve. The Akash system's performance would change the calculus of power in the region. The world, and India's adversaries, would never see the country the same way again. The night the sky caught fire became the night India's shield shone brightest. The attack from Pakistan was meticulously planned, using an arsenal supplied by China. Babur cruise missiles targeted Indian Air Force bases, while Ghaznavi and Shaheen ballistic missiles aimed for command centers and cities. Swarms of Chinese-made drones followed, armed and ready to overwhelm India's defenses. The goal: saturate the sky, break through the shield, and cripple India's response. India's answer was immediate. The Akash system's Rajendra radars tracked dozens of threats, assigning each to a launcher battery. Fighter jets scrambled to hunt down any missiles that slipped through, while anti-aircraft guns and short-range systems countered the drones. The defense was layered, coordinated, and relentless. Explosions filled the sky, but on the ground India's assets and cities remained untouched. The storm of steel broke against an invisible wall of Indian technology and determination. The attackers had underestimated the shield they faced. India's air defense network, tested to its limits, proved unbreakable. The night belonged to India's defenders. This attack was the climax of weeks of rising tension, sparked by a brutal terror strike. In late May, a bus of Hindu pilgrims was ambushed in Kashmir by gunmen linked to a Pakistan-based group. The tragedy ignited grief and fury across India, with demands for justice. Instead of a conventional strike, India launched a covert operation. Elite special forces crossed the line of control, neutralized the terrorists, and returned unscathed. The operation was a stunning success and a humiliation for Pakistan's military. Exposed and pressured, Pakistan's leaders sought to retaliate, turning to China for advanced missile and drone technology. They believed a massive surprise barrage would force India to the negotiating table. Their calculation: India's defenses would crumble under a real-world, large-scale attack. But they were wrong. The storm they unleashed would be their undoing. India's resolve and technology would prove far stronger than anticipated. The fuse was lit, but the explosion would consume its makers. The Akash missile system is the heart of India's air defense. Its Rajendra radar can track dozens of targets at once, guiding interceptors with precision. Mobile launchers mounted on trucks can quickly relocate, making them hard to target. Each launcher holds 3 supersonic Akash missiles ready to fire and move. The missile itself is a technological marvel, supersonic, with a unique ramjet engine and a deadly proximity warhead. When threats appeared, the system's components worked in perfect harmony. Radars detected incoming missiles from over 60 kilometers away. Command centers prioritized threats and assigned them to Akash batteries. Mobile launchers fired interceptors, which streaked through the sky and destroyed targets miles above the ground. The shield was not just strong, it was resilient and adaptive. India's airspace remained secure, even under the most intense assault. The Akash system's performance was a testament to Indian engineering. The shield of India held firm. Pakistan's missile attack failed completely. No high-value targets were hit. Airfields, command centers, and cities remained untouched, protected by India's unseen shield. For Pakistan, it was a strategic disaster. Their best weapons, including advanced Chinese systems, were neutralized. As Akash defended the skies, India launched precise counterstrikes, targeting the very launchers and drone stations that initiated the assault. The element of surprise shifted. Pakistan's assets were destroyed, their offensive capability crippled. The gamble had backfired spectacularly, leaving Pakistan weaker than before. China too was forced to reconsider the effectiveness of its military exports. The Akash system's success shattered the myth of Chinese technological superiority in the region. India had proven it could develop and deploy world-class defense technology. The message was clear: any attack would be met with overwhelming defense and precise retaliation. The balance of power had shifted. India's shield was now a symbol of deterrence. The region would never be the same. Some call Akash India's Iron Dome, but the comparison falls short. The Israeli Iron Dome is for short-range rockets. Akash counters faster, more complex threats over a much larger area. Akash is a shield for regions, not just cities. Its true significance lies in its origin, a product of India's drive for self-reliance in defense. Developed under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, Akash is over 96% Indian-made. The advanced radar, supersonic missiles, mobile launchers, and command software were all built by Indian organizations. India can upgrade, use, or export the system without foreign approval. Akash's success validated the Made in India philosophy. It proved Indian weapons could outperform those from global powers. Akash is not an imitation, it's India's own answer to its security needs. The world took notice. India had arrived as a major defense technology power. The roar of Akash echoed far beyond the battlefield. India's technological prowess was undeniable. The defense of June 2025 was more than a military victory. It was a geopolitical earthquake. Pakistan's strategy of missile intimidation was rendered obsolete. The Akash system forced a complete rethink of military doctrine in the region. China's reputation as an arms supplier took a hit, as its weapons failed against Indian defenses. India emerged as a nation with proven homegrown capability to repel modern air attacks. This changed the strategic calculus for any adversary, from the Himalayas to the Indian Ocean. India's self-reliance in defense became a stabilizing force in a turbulent world. Nations across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East began to look to Akash as an alternative to Western or Chinese systems. The night of conflict changed the future, proving that a nation's greatest strength comes from within. India's investment in its people and technology built a shield that could withstand any storm. The question now: how will this newfound power shape the security landscape of the 21st century? As threats evolve, will others follow India's path of self-reliance? The world must now reckon with a confident, technologically advanced India on the global stage.